Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Design by Remas. If this is the first video you've seen on my channel, kindly use the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that you get notified whenever I drop a video. Alright, today we are going to be recreating this flyer and I'm going to be showing us the process in achieving this particular flyer, and this is based on popular demand now, right? So I want to pay attention. And by the way, I have a WhatsApp community for designers, right? So you can do well by joining the WhatsApp community, right? So the link is going to be on the description of this video and on the comment section as well. And I am running a mentorship program, which is Photoshop Designer Accelerator, right? So there are a whole lot you are going to be benefiting from this mentorship program. We're going to be looking at a whole lot, all right, from the design fundamentals for beginners to clients work simulation, right? So it's a 6 weeks program and you are going to benefit a lot. This is going to strengthen you from a beginner to a pro, where you are able to win your first gig and just start winning, right? So the link is going to be on the description of this video, and check the comment section as well. So very quickly we are going to move on to recreating this particular flyer. First, I am not going to be going back to how I achieved this blending of the picture to the background. I already made a video on layer masking, so you walk around my YouTube channel, you are going to see that. And there are a whole lot of video that I've made. It's going to be a blessing to you. All right, so the first thing that I want to do in this particular case, whenever I'm designing a birthday flyer, I always want to position the photographs, right, the pictures, because it matters a whole lot while designing a birthday flyer. So so this is rightly positioned. So I'm going to open up the other two photos, right? Then I'm just simply going to bring this here, right, while I bring this other one here. Okay, it's very simple. I bring this other one here. All right, so the major thing that we are going to learn is the arrangement of the texts and the backgrounds, the color, and so on and so forth. So the next thing we're going to do, we are going to work on, let's see how we move this closer a bit. So we're going to be working on the name. We're going to be working on the name, right? So the name is Margaret. Okay, Margaret. So I'm going to blow it up. So the font I used for this name is Suna. A lot of people have asked me on TikTok about the name of the font, and when I tell them Suna, I'm not sure they understand that that's the name of the font. All right, so Suna, let's go. Okay, so the next is the surname. Now I'm still going to use this font. I just duplicated the font, Orobosa. Now this time I'm going to put it in caps. All right, so and I'm going to rightly position it somewhere here, then we're also going to write esteemed 6. So this time we are going to be using Montserrat. We either use Montserrat or we use Creator Display, but let's go with Montserrat. I'm going to take it out from cap, Montserrat bold. Okay, so I'm going to change the color to white. All right, so I've made a video on the use of color, how you can pair color. Now I'm also going to change I'm still going to change this, the color, you know, for this name, Margaret. All right, so just ensure you are following me. If you're missing anything behind, just pause the video. You can pause and practice, or you rewind, take it back, and you're going to get it. So the next thing is the dates. Let's put on the date. That's 1st of November. November is 01. So let's change this color to black first, so that to be visible. November is, okay, November is 11, sorry. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to centralize to ensure. Then I'm changing it from bold to black. Okay, let's scale it down a little bit so that it's not too much. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I want to write a happy birthday, and I'm going to put it in circle. Now to achieve that, I'm going to draw a path, right? So now the essence of this circle is to create a path for what I'm going to write. All right, I want it to be in circle. Now this is more or less like when you give an advice to your child and say, don't leave the house, right? So tell the child where to go, you know, boundaries and all that. So the same thing we want to achieve with this circle. All right, so I'm going to bring it closer a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this circle, then I'm choosing my text tool, then I will ensure that it is aligned to the center. All right, so I'm going to click somewhere here. I'm just start writing happy birthday. All right, so I'm just going to reduce the size. All right, then put it in caps, bring it to medium, then I'll copy it, Ctrl+C, just give it a space, paste it again, give it a space, paste it again. All right, one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is, let's see how semi bold or bold is going to work it for us now. So we're just going to increase the tracking a bit. All right, just increase the tracking a bit so that we'll fill up the space. Be careful. Okay, all right, I think we can do with this. Then I'm going to take off that circle. All right, so we now have happy birthday. Right now, mind you, there's something I did here. Now this, I created this here. Let me just take it off so that I create it again. Now the reason why I did that is because now you see this stuff is on the body now, and it's not going to be too visible. So what I wanted was just for here to be white, and I don't want to you know, touch the body. There are so many ways you can do this. Disclaimer. All right, so now I do what works best for me and what works easy for me. So I'm going to take a circle. I'll just draw a circle. Oh, maybe I should have used the circle that I used before. Then I turn this to white, right, and just bring the layer to the back and make sure it's above, you know, the first picture. Let me position it where. Okay, so I just blur it. You can use layer masking or whatever. You can use brush tool to achieve this, but there are so many ways you can do one particular thing using Photoshop. So I've used Photoshop over the years. This works better for me, so it's easier for me to just do. So I just do it. All right, so then the next thing is I'm going to bring Cut C, singled out nation, then Kingsley or Robosa. Okay, so I'm going to reduce, or let me bring the lead into auto and track into auto as well. All right, then probably I can just make this, okay, that's bold already, then make this medium. All right, so we can just bring the size down a little bit, but meanwhile I'm gonna you know, reduce the tracking. Okay, I think this is better. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna copy my text, my happy birthday text. All right, so let's see how we're gonna do this. Then I'm going to draw a text box, then paste it. All right, I think this is good. All right, let's go. We're moving. And please be careful while you design it. There's what's called trim and bleed. I'm going to make a video on that. There will be no time to explain that now. I don't want us to have a very long video. Okay, so I think that's it. But now where the job is the background and the color. I taught us in one of my videos how to apply background. So now in this case, you can see that the dominant color, we're going to choose color from the dressing, right, of this celebrant. All right, we're going to pick a color from her clothes. Now you find out that the dominant color here is green, right? So it will be good, right, and perfect if we are able to work with a green color, right, so as background. So let's still move this up because of trim, because of bleed. I'm going to increase this a bit. Okay, then bring it in. All right, then I'm going to just push this up, push this up a bit. Okay, so now the background I'm going to use this background. Why did I choose this background? This color is going to complement this particular color. Now we're going to copy this background and bring it here. Then I'm only going to blow it up and rotate it, right? Then move it behind. Now let's see. Now as you can see, this is almost exactly the same color with the cloth, but not exactly. What we can do is to come to adjustments and bring in where's hue and saturation, right? So we are going to adjust the hue a little bit. If we move it forward, no. If we move it backward, okay, I think is where is 0. Let's move it back to 0 again. Then let's see how we move it backward. All right, then let's adjust the saturation and can we do this? Okay, so we're gonna do this. Now I'm gonna blur it because I want to kill the lines, the patterns. All right, so just blur it a bit, blur it a bit. All right, so you see this is working perfectly for us. Just imagine we are bringing in a red or a purple might still work, but to complement it more, you understand, so we have to choose a color from her dress, okay. So the next thing we're going to do now, right, so the background is not done. We're going to bring in 1 or 2. So I'm going to bring in this, all right, just to give an effect to the background, right? I'm going to move it above that background. Then I'm going to blend it out. Let's give it 100. Let's move it backward a bit. Okay, so now you find out that we're still going to use the same method, right? We're going to use hue and saturation to adjust this very one until it blends with that same color at the background. Then we bring down the opacity a bit, right? So bring down the opacity a bit. So I'm going to duplicate this, Ctrl J, and I just flip it horizontal and bring it to the other side. I'll bring it to the other side as well. So now in this case, I'm going to still reduce maybe the opacity. Okay, just to reduce a bit. All right. So the next thing here is that I am going to, oh, hope I'm not too fast. It's a video, by the way. You can always take it back or pause. So the next thing is I'm going to choose color for the fonts. So for Margaret, I'm going to use white. Now you observe that white is lost in the background, because according to the rule of color, it has to be a light background above a heavy background, or a heavy background above a light background. So when a light, I mean color, not background, when a light color collide with a light color, one will be lost. All right, so now what I'm going to do is to give this a shadow effect. Right now, there are two ways you can do your shadow effect. Number one, you can come to your layer style and come to drop shadow, right? So you can just adjust the distance, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. But I can tell you this for kids now, right? So I won't do it. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to duplicate it, Control J, right? So this one, the one above, I'm going to maybe make it this color, or let's darken it a bit, right? So I'm going to use my motion blur to blur it a bit. Let's increase the radius, let's reduce it a bit, let's reduce it a bit. Okay, so then I'm going to bring this layer behind the main one. All right, so you see it's giving us a more professional touch right now, right? So let's increase this a bit. Is it too small? So this can stay the way it is, all right, because it is visible there. So this esteem also can stay the way it is, right? So now for this, I'm going to choose, let me ungroup it. I'm going to choose a green color. Let me choose a green color for this, right? That's cool. Then I'm going to use another color for that, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to pick that color now. So what I'm going to bring in this flare lens, I'm going to bring in this flare lens. Now what I'm going to do with this flare lens is that I want to put this flare lens behind the extra pictures. Let's bring this to screen, behind the extra pictures. Then I'm going to duplicate it and bring it this way as well, this way as well. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to choose color from here. All right, I'm going to choose color from here to complement that particular color, right? So I'm going to change this to this green. I'm going to change this to, let's make it a darker green anyway, because it's almost lost there. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm still going to bring in this flare lens. This time around I'm going to turn it to black and white. Control Shift Alternate B, right? So what I'm going to do with it is that I want to move it behind her head, all right, so that you just give I don't know if you are seeing what it's doing what it's doing there, by the way. All right, so you see we've been able to achieve this. Maybe I can change this to a darker green as well. Let me copy this green so that I don't have too many options of green. So I can bring this here. Let's make it darker a bit, please. Okay, then what else? I'm still going to introduce, okay, sorry, I'm going to bring in let's bring this thing here and let's move it above that picture, and let's make it smaller. Let's make it smaller. Yeah, because I want it to serve as a demarcation between each pictures, because I don't want them to be lost. Then I'm still going to need this, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it to this edge, then I just blow it up, a bit, all right. Then maybe I'll duplicate it as well and bring it somewhere here if it's necessary there. Woo! So we already got what we want now. All right, so maybe we can also make this one this color, just for everything to complement each other. Let's just choose this same green color. All right, so then the next thing I'm gonna do now is to do a kind of harmonizing these things together to give it a team feel. Now when it comes to harmony in design, this is not the best way, right? But I can tell you, if your Photoshop doesn't have that feature, you can as well do this, right, to harmonize. So I just copied this and I'm bringing it here. Then what I'm going to do with it is that I'm still going to adjust it with the hue stroke saturation. I'll just tweak it around. Let me look for that same color, right? I'm looking for that same green color, right? So maybe I can increase this and reduce this a bit. Okay, now I'm also going to come here and change it to screen, right? Then I just blow it up. Now let me remove that from her fix. I don't want it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to also adjust it with levels. Now levels is just to darken it, right, to strengthen the depth. All right, so I'm going to use Gaussian blur to blur it a bit. Gaussian blur to blur it a bit, and I don't like that. Okay, I think it's perfect now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to reduce the opacity of this. Let's just bring the opacity down so that it doesn't overcloud the design. All right, so we can still use levels to strengthen it a bit, because it's still giving me very light effect. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, all right, now as you can see, the colors might not be very sharp now, probably or obviously because of this contributed to it, right? So but what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to click on that the layer that is above, and I hold my Control Shift Alternate E, right? I'm going to merge all together, right? So all is merged in one to one layer right now. Then I'm going to use my what's it called, camera raw, right? Now let's wait for camera raw to load. Now what I'm going to do with camera raw is that I'm gonna come here, then, and I'm going to choose vivid colors, right? Now you can see the difference already. So the difference is, this is before, after. So if the vivid is too pronounced, you can reduce the opacity a bit, but I'll leave it at that 100%, and hope I've been able to show us this, because a lot of people really asked for this tutorial, most especially on YouTube, what's called on TikTok, right? So I'm going to be dropping the elements, everything that I use. I'm going to be dropping them on my WhatsApp community, and everybody's going to participate in it. You're going to design, you're going to show it to me, we are going to critique it together, and we are going to approve them together. All right, so, and I believe that you are going to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and also subscribe to my 6 weeks mentorship program. It's going to be a blessing. We're going to be learning a whole lot. All right, thank you, and see you in my next video.